Crypto dreams online, chasing coins all night. Market high like a kite, never let go, hold tight. Retirement in sight, golden years feel right. Peace and sun so bright, live free, take flight, living your best life. Crypto world inside, freedom feels so alive. Shine a light tonight, trading day and night. Digital gold so bright, risk it all, take a flight. Future's in your sight. Hold the lights.
All right. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy hump day. I know for some of you it is kind of a solemn day, and I understand that, and I would like to honestly respect that. I would like to, if you will join me, those of you that are here with me on the live, if you would also refrain from typing anything into chat before like the next 10 to 15 seconds, if you would. And I would like to ask all of you if you would please join me for just a moment in some silent reflection. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I personally don't know anybody that was lost. However, it was quite a tragedy. And on this some 23 years ago, here we are. And so I just wanted to be respectful. Those of you that may have lost somebody, my heart goes out to you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Well, good morning again. My name is Mark. I run a morning podcast, Mornings with Mark, where we talk about everything crypto or mining or retirement or even living your best life. And we also have a new channel that's going to be starting out, so be sure that you're a subscriber. And that channel is called Living Your Best Life. So please join us there as well. All right, today. One second here. We're not going to get into that. All right, so today's question is going to be about Social Security and at what age should you really take it? I guess that really depends on your financial situation. Again, I want to be sure that everybody understands this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on the internet that has lived through a lot of things, and I wanted to bring some of that knowledge here to our friends on YouTube. Okay? And I am greatly appreciative of everybody that is joining us. We have had quite a growth spurt in the last several days. I think we've got about 11 or 12 people in just a matter of a couple of days. So those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Mark with Crypto for Seniors. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this. Let me jump to another screen. So this guy, love him, hate him. I will tell you that I do both of those. I love the guy. I think he is great in his philosophies. I think he is kind of cynical because he gets the same questions asked over and over and over again. And I think after as long as he's been doing it, I probably would be too. Probably time for him to make a change, but who's to say? This is Dave Ramsey that I'm talking about. And there was one particular show that came up that just kind of resonated with me. And I thought he had some really good information. So we're going to watch a couple of videos that are going to kind of answer some questions about when is the best time and what can you do to maximize your Social Security income. All right, let's jump over here and we're going to enlarge that and take a listen.
Really appreciate the opportunity. Sure. I'm 61 years old, and I keep getting these letters from Social Security wanting to know what I want to do. And, I'm still working. I'm on baby step 7. I am married. And, I don't know, when is the best time to take advantage of that fantastic program?
I sense sarcasm, Tracy.
You sense correctly.
Well, I mean, the trick to knowing when to take Social Security is to know when you're going to die. And once you got that figured out, then you can calculate it precisely.
Yeah, no. No, I'm going to be nice.
Okay. Obviously, the longer you live, the better it is mathematically to take it later, because you're going to get a bigger check for a longer period of time. Okay.
Can I throw something else in there?
Sure.
Well, I was actually intending to, I don't need it, so I was intending to invest 100% of it. However, then I found out that I don't get the full amount if I start early. So go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't. And the later you start, whether it's 62 all the way up to 70, the later you start, every year you would get more. Okay? But if you run some math out, you can actually run the calculations on their site. It's fairly easy to do. If you run the math out in your situation and you say, okay, I could take it at 66 or 67 and I would get this amount. Okay? And if I took it at 62, I'm going to get a different amount, X versus Y. You follow me? And the difference in those could be made up almost every time. You can run the numbers on it by taking every dollar from 62 to 66 that you get and put it in a good investment. The investment returns will give you greater than the difference for the rest of your life.
Okay, did you understand what he just said? Okay. Right now, he's in his 50s. He can give them all of the money that he has paid in, whether it be when he was self-employed, getting his real estate empire up, or when he started the Baby Steps program and he started to bring that information to, mainly it's to faith-based organizations, churches, synagogues, and the like, temples. But we're graduates, and we were down about 95% of our debt was gone, including car payments. The only thing we had really was our house. And then for a while, I kind of went off program, and I had one credit card that we paid off every time. So we didn't accrue any interest, but we did get some points. And no, he's not a believer in that. You got to do what's right for you. Okay? We were just at a point where we were getting a lot of points, and it made more sense for us to continue to do that. Although we did pay our credit card off literally every single month. And that's the only way you can do it if you do it that way. But we are graduates of his Baby Steps program. And thank goodness. We are not quite to one of the last ones, the giving phase, but we are starting, both my wife and myself, in our retirement, not only doing something that's called living inheritance, and that is, quite frankly, where we're starting to give our children some of the money that they're going to inherit. But we're doing it right now so that we have an opportunity to watch them really enjoy it. You know, Maybe they need a car, so they need that little extra bit of money to put down. Both of their situations, they don't need to worry about housing at this particular moment, but throughout their life, we are going to find ways to kind of give them some of the money. And this way, like I said before, we actually get the opportunity to enjoy watching them utilize some of that inheritance. And of course, that gives us a lot of joy and warmth. They're still going to have quite a bit, but, why not have some fun with it? So that may be something, if you're not set up to do, please contact your financial advisor or talk to someone that you trust as far as the legal advice. I would recommend that the two of those work together. In my situation, my attorney does work with my financial advisor. We've always had a really good relationship between them, and I think it's saved my wife and I a tremendous amount of money. As you've seen from some of my videos, we literally have lost everything. We literally were bankrupt back when we had one of the worst fires in my city. Okay, and we were able to build it back up with a lot of debt, and so we used the Dave Ramsey system, of course, to get us out. I am not being sponsored by Dave Ramsey. Love him, hate him. That's between you and him. Okay, I'm just telling you what I did as my journey. Let's go back to Dave.
Almost every time. So it usually makes sense to take it early if you're going to do what you're going to do, which is invest every bit of it and let it run. Now, taxation comes into play when you're still working. All those other things come into play. You've got to look at that and figure out how much you're actually going to net, fooling around with whether you're going to make it taxable by your income and all that garbage. But aside from that, the basic concept is that you can get a better rate of return than they will pay you by waiting, so that you take the total amount between that 4 years of X number of dollars a month into a good mutual fund. Will then, from the rest of your life, that one account will make you more than enough to cover up the difference between your 66 account and your 62 account. That payment amount, that's what it amounts to. Plus, when you die, that money that's in that mutual fund is part of your estate. When you die with Social Security, nothing! That's what you get. So, that's what you get. Like you said, it's a great plan.
Okay, I'm sorry. That is just, I mean, look, that's why I love this guy, right? You get nothing. Could also be, those of you that are new to the channel, you may not know, I'm actually rocking a brand new knee, so I am on some great painkillers, and squirrel running across the yard is probably something to cause me to laugh, but I do chuckle almost every time that I listen to Dave Ramsey.
If you run the numbers out on your Social Security, folks, you will discover it's about a negative 4% rate of return in your life. Only the government could figure out a way to talk everyone into having something removed from their check that they make a negative 4% on, and everybody fights to keep it in place. And it becomes a...
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Political icon. Only in the United States government could they figure out a way to make that crap work. And you guys all just, Social Security, I'll tell you what, here's the plan. I'm 58 years old. If you never made me pay again, you could keep everything that I've paid to this point. I've been paying into it almost 40 years. I haven't been paying into it 40 years. You can keep all that. I'll still come out ahead in the next 20 years. Not putting money in the stupid thing. Just putting that amount of money, the amount of money you robbed from me in my check for this broken, screwed up mathematical disaster. See, that wasn't even sarcasm. That's just calling it out. I could take the amount of money I'm going to pay in, or you're ripping me off, put that in the mutual fund, and I would have more income than I will have having paid in, and give up the whole 40 years. You guys can just keep that because your program's so freaking awesome. You can just keep it. That's the math. It sucks that bad.
Okay, come on, really, seriously. Love them, hate them. That is interesting, right? I mean, when I heard this, I've been doing this for a really long time. I mean, I started my journey when I was like 13 years old, you know, starting to buy stocks, literally that early. You know, I was 19 when I bought my first house. So I've been doing this a long time, and I have never heard that he said he was 58. At 58 years old, you could just keep everything that you've been paying in. Your Social Security, your self-employment, if you have been paying into that, or of course the taxes if you are working for an employer. So he's saying you can literally take all that, let him work for another 20 years, and it will be worth more money if you don't take anything else from him, if you don't tax him. It'll be worth more money than the 40 years that he had worked previously. And that is compound interest. And so I worry about the 52 million workers that are out there that are working without any kind of retirement fund right now. The average retirement fund for a lot of these workers that are getting ready to hit that retirement phase, the average amount in their bank for retirement, okay? Listen to what I said, bank, not invested, into their bank is around $20,000. Guys, that just doesn't work, okay? You're not going to get that much off of your Social Security. So, as he said, it's a broken system, but it's the best one that we got.
Only the federal government could talk you people into doing this, and you just like a bunch of sheep, y'all just take it out of my check, and it's just, golly, man, we all just love it, and God forbid that the Democrats and the Republicans ever tinker with this broken freaking system. Oh, your grandmother's going to starve, and it's going to be all your party's fault. What a crock. The whole thing is...
I did not say that.
Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, love him, hate him. He does make me laugh. You know what? He does make me laugh. All right, so we're going to jump over here real quick, and I do want to talk about, let's see, why aren't you letting me do this? There you go. Okay, so one of the things I do want to remind you that none of this information is financial advice. I am not a financial planner. I am, hey, just a guy on the internet. This is really about me documenting my life journey over time, and please work with a retirement specialist. They do not cost very much for the knowledge that you get. So please consider that. Also, you want to find a good attorney, okay, just so that the two can work together and to protect you. So that's news if you're in your 20s to if you're like me, already retired. If you have not worked with a retirement specialist, please consider doing that and start that process today. All right, so we're going to go through this real quick. We're going to talk about getting your fair share. So there are ways that it is possible that you can increase your Social Security check. And we're going to talk about that very briefly, and then we're going to watch another video that just kind of breaks it down. I think it does a really, really good job. All right, let me get my mug out of there so that you can see that. Okay, so now is it going to let me go forward? Yes. All right, so what we're talking about is like Dave, as I said in the very beginning, Dave was self-employed. He was buying a lot of real estate. You may have been self-employed. You may have helped your father's friend or worked for a family member and earned a little bit of money on your own, that would have been considered self-employment. And as you get a little bit older, you go to work for somebody, then that is taken out of FICA. All right, so why do we do that? Well, because it's someday, somewhere around the 30 or 40 years, depends upon how long you work, you're hoping to get some money from our government. Now, that is the system that we have here in the U.S., and that's all that I'm really talking about at this point. So in most cases, this just simply happens. If you have a husband and wife and they're relatively healthy and they hit that retirement age, you tend to get your maximum benefit from your Social Security. However, in some cases, that's not always the way it goes. And that is spousal benefits. You may get spousal benefits. That is something through a divorce situation. I have been asked that question. I would refer you to a licensed professional. I just simply cannot answer in a divorce situation what is best to do. That is a time when you seek professional knowledge. However, in most cases, the individual retiring doesn't know if they're entitled or not. So spousal benefits, if they are still alive, yes, it's possible that they could win that in some kind of a legal case. Or if by chance, unfortunately, your spouse is deceased. And then you're talking about survivor benefits. As I said, 52 million people are out there working without any kind of retirement fund. These are some of the largest companies here in the United States. And depends on how many hours that you're actually working. So some are capped just a few hours short, and they never see any kind of retirement savings. So they are usually earning a lower wage, and that usually means that they are working paycheck to paycheck. Again, here are some of them. Of course, you've got the gig economy, your Ubers, you've got your folks that cut the lawns or the lawn services. Sometimes those are self-employed people. Folks that work in your grocery stores, of course, and some of your convenience stores. DoorDash, of course, is one of the gig economies. Banks, bartenders. So there's really quite a few people. When you sit back and think about it, take a look at all these businesses and think all those people typically do not have any kind of retirement account. All right. So we're going to jump over here, and again, none of this is financial advice. Thank you myself for remembering to have that down there. Because I'm not down in my studio, unfortunately, I don't have enough monitors to really set this up the right way. But we are going to jump over here. Now, this is going to be really interesting. I just came across these guys. They are called the Medicare School. Well worth checking out their site. We're going to watch this video for just a few minutes.
So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 Social Security filing strategies that can actually increase your Social Security benefit. they normally get a benefit that's
Yeah, so I just realized my mic was off. Thank you for letting me know that, guys. Real quick, I fall into that category right there, the disability. Just full disclosure, I wanted you guys to know that. I've been disabled for about 15 years, and a lot of that has been the arthritis and that kind of stuff. I was diagnosed as having early onset arthritis at 25, and so that's why I'm doing a new knee. I've done a couple of knees, a couple of hips, shoulder. I had a lot of work done. I'm trying to get off what would be considered disability from getting the work done so that the remaining part of my life I can live a full life. Now, when I was legally granted my disability, that comes in at the full amount. And then I don't believe in this. I think this is wrong. And I have written a lot of letters to senators and congressmen. But if you fall in the same class as me, where you are disabled, then if you do work, and I did work, and I worked for 3 years at one location, 5 years at another, with some accommodations, those earnings do not go to increase your benefits. So when you actually take your disability benefits, you are locked in at that rate right there. So that's kind of food for thought. A lot of you probably don't even realize that if you are legally disabled and you are working, you're not getting the benefit of that anymore. That's why you need to work with a financial advisor. Okay? All right, let's go back.
equivalent to their full retirement age benefit. So our focus during this video is going to be these three items here. All right, now I want to clarify something as we get into this, because this will be critical as we look at these strategies. The first thing that we have to understand is that our full retirement age matters. Full retirement age. And what I mean by that, I mean the exact month and year that you're going to hit what the government refers to as your full retirement age or normal retirement age. So real quickly, here's the schedule. Anyone born between 1943 and 1954 has a full retirement age of 66 even, no months added to it. But then in 1955 on, they started adding. So in 1955, someone's born then, they added 2 months. 1956, it was 66 plus 4 months. 1957, 66 plus 6 months.
That's me.
1958, 66 plus 8 months. 1959, 66 plus 10 months. And then 1960 thereafter, for now, we have a full retirement age of 67. All right? And so let me just teach you just real quickly. Let's say somebody turned 65 today. I'm shooting this video. It is 8/12 of 2024. That's the video shoot today. So let's say someone turns 65 today. What?
Wait a minute. Don't know if you caught that. 8/12. Guess what, guys? He released this video early because it is. I'm sorry. Nope. 8/12. Yes. My bad. My bad. Shut up, Mark.
What does that mean? They were born 8/12/1959. So what would their full retirement age be? Again, they're born 1959. It'd be 66 and 10 months. And so we know that 8/12 of 2025, they're 66, but they're not full retirement age yet because we have to add 10 months to it. So the way we count that is this. They turned 66 in August, so we would go September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So 6 of 2026 would be their full retirement age month and year. So that's the first thing we got to do is know exactly what that is, because that's going to be applicable for these different strategies that we're going to talk about. Okay, this is strategy number 1, and that would be this. Before filing, you haven't taken your Social Security yet, be sure that you get to 35 years of employment. And this is...
Okay, real important. Okay, listen to what he just said. 35 years of employment. And I want to stop right here because, number one, I know what he's going to say. Number two, it was something that I had to learn, and I did not learn until I talked to my financial advisor. Okay? And what that is that basically your government's going to go back and take a look at the 35 most profitable years that you have had, years that you have made the most amount of money. Okay, so think about it. As you're starting out and you're in your teens, what are you earning? 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 working a summer job, something like that. And then you start ramping up. Well, you don't want one of those years of making, maybe you're a lifeguard, of making $5,000. You don't want that to count, okay? So it's real important that you look back at that and you say, well, gosh, I'd like to retire, but I really didn't start working for a major company until I was, right out of college. So you want to be sure that you go back that far, and you can go onto the government website and pull this information up, that you have at least 35 years of working where you have earned relatively substantial income, okay? More than, painting a house or doing some work around the neighborhood, that kind of thing, where you only earned a few $1,000s that summer, or like I said, a lifeguard, or working at some kind of a camp, okay? So he's going to go into it a little bit more here. I just wanted to be sure that you guys realize 35 is a very important number.
This is why. When the Social Security Department agency actually determines your benefit amount, what they're going to do is they're going to take your top 35 years of working, top 35 years. They take all those top 35 years and they apply that to an index. This is a wage index. Why is that? Well, because money that you made 25, 30 years ago, they want to, because of inflation, they want to bring that up to a proper dollar amount. Once we reach age 60, they no longer do that. They just take our income at face value, but they'll inflate it up until age 60. And so once they've applied the index, what they're trying to get to is what they call lifetime earnings. Lifetime earnings.
Okay, it's real important. So, if I had not been to my financial planner and learned that through them, if you had not watched my video today, you probably wouldn't have seen this. So you would have gone through your whole retirement period not realizing that you need to look at, do you work another year? Do you work another 6 months? Do you work another 3 months? So that you get your maximum amount of earnings. Real important.
Now I'm going to keep this real simple, okay? But let's say we have top 35 years plus the index that gives us our lifetime earnings. And let's say this is $2,100,000, which, by the way, looks like a lot, but really is not over a 35-year period of time. So whatever your lifetime earnings is, and they take that number and they divide that by 420 months, right? That is the 35 years. So when they take lifetime earnings divided by 420, what they're coming up with is a number that's called your average indexed monthly earnings. And so if I were to take $2,100,000 by 420, that's going to give us an amount of $5,000. Now, by the way, that's not where your check is going to be, because then they take this average index monthly earnings and they apply this to what are called bend points. Bend points. They call them this because when you look on a graph, these points are bending. And so what that means is this. What we get is this year, someone would get 90% of the first $1,174. That's the first bend point. And then the next bend point is $7,078. Okay? And we actually get 32% of that. And anything above that amount there, we would get actually 15%. So if there's anything above that, high income earners, they'll get 15%.
Come on, guys. Now, I know this is math. And I know I've seen the comments before where, it hurts their head having to do this much math. But it is real basic, and it is something that you need to pick up just a few bullet points. And that's why I want to go ahead and let him kind of ramble into this, just so that you have the working knowledge.
And this particular equation is what they use to determine what they call our primary insurance amount, which is what we get at our full retirement age with no reduction, okay? And so let's just do some quick math on these numbers. So someone with an AIM of $5,000, they're going to get 90% of the first $1,174. That would be a part of their Social Security check. So $1,174, we get 90% of that. And that number is, I'm going to erase this here, that number is $1,056.60.
Yeah, now it's not looking so good, is it?
Okay, so then we get 32% of the difference. So 1174, we get 90%. So I'm going to take the difference between 1174 and 5,000, and that number is 3,826, and we get 32% of that number. So we got 32%. So that gives us $1,224.32. Now this person was not above 7078, so over here then would have been zero. Okay, so when we add this together, this is going to let us know what their total check is going to be. 105,660 plus the 1220.
And just so you know, that 15%, that is really for your, you know, your top 10 earners, that kind of thing. The folks that are bringing down, you know, well into the six figures, then they would actually come down and hit that percentage.
24 gives us a check amount of, and I'll write it over here, $2,280.92. All right, so we'll just call it 2281 for our example. So this is what their check is going to be, their Social Security benefit, if they get to their full retirement age. Now we know if they take early, they take less. We'll look at some examples of that. If they take later, they'll get more of that. But I'm going to use this 2280.92 as our example as we talk about. So here's my point in sharing this with you. You want to get to 35 years. Why is that? Because let's say if someone only has 31 years of working, but they have the ability to continue to work, what you probably want to do is try to get up to 35 years, because if you only have 31, as they do this calculation, they're not going to change that. So that means in this whole equation, you're going to have some years of zero. So if you can continue to work, it can help you immensely by building up those top 35 years, so that when they divide that out, this lifetime earnings and this AIM is going to be at a higher amount. So again, we want to get to 35, so if you can work and continue to do that, it will be in your best interest. Now listen.
All right, so we're going to stop them right there, because I don't know about you, but my head is starting to hurt. So that's why it's so important to work up to 35 years. Or if you're in a situation like me where you became disabled, you know, you're pretty much going to be locked in at that point. But if you can put those things off, if you can put off your disability and really try to get some kind of accommodations at work that allows you to work and earn, even if you earn less, that is still going to be more than the $0 for while you were in college not earning any money, if you start to take it early. And that's the key. So he's told you at the times that you need to take it, and he has told you what you need to do, and that is wait the full 35 years. Okay? So guys, I hope this is some good information for you. For most of you, you probably did not know very much of this at all. Okay, and that's why I wanted to bring this to you today. So hopefully you got a little bit of knowledge. Thank you very much to the Medicare School. I actually would like to visit with him and bring him on and do some interviews throughout the time. We are going to start doing some lives with other individuals, have some guests. All right, I'm going to wind it up here. Guys, my name is Mark. You're listening to the Morning with Mark podcast, right here, brought to you by us at Crypto for Seniors on YouTube. Don't forget to check out our new channel, and that is Living Your Best Life. My name is Mark. Thank you very much for joining. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing down below. love to have you join us. We have a lot of really good information over the next year we're going to be bringing you. I'll catch you on the next.